Brings with it.
30 hertz straight up.
I'm sure, and you're complaining, your wife complaining, everybody's complaining because this is not getting better. What did they say once they figured out that that's not what it was?
I because I had experienced cancer before, I asked the doctor, why is this happening to me? And the doctor told me, you got bad luck, and walked out.
Excuse me?
Yes, told me I had bad luck. You got bad luck, and he walked out on me.
He did not.
Yes, ma'am. And
how did that make you feel?
It was.
So somebody that took an oath in the medical field, and you guys was going through all of this for months, and to find out you have a rare cancer, and the doctor's response to your question was, you have bad luck.
You have bad luck. And to add insult to injury, not only did he tell me that, he told me that in order for them to do anything concerning my matter, that they needed to take my bladder and my prostate out of my body. And that's when I made a decision, and I said, no. Me and my wife, we went out in the car. We cried for a little bit, and I looked at my wife and I said, I'm fighting. At the time, we wasn't married. As a matter of fact, we were getting ready to go on a destination marriage when this happened. This was right before we were getting ready to get married. And I looked at her, I told her I'm gonna fight, and she said, okay, we're gonna fight then. And we went on a mission. So we started looking for different places, and it was mentioned about the Mayo Clinic. We went out to the Mayo Clinic, and they told me that they could do the surgery. They thought they could take about 10% of my bladder, but they ended up taking 20% of my bladder, and they took other lymph nodes out of my body. And then, long story short, 2 months later, the cancer came back and spread into my stomach and my rib cage, and they gave me 3 months to live.
We're gonna pause right there. Oh wait.
Yeah.
That is something.
Yeah. I just went and interviewed the doctor. I don't know if you was able to see it, and he said that on the interview that I'm not supposed to be here. Yeah.
Ooh, okay.
Looked me in my face and told me, you are a fluke of life. You're not supposed to be here.
And how do you feel today, right now?
Well, when I was talking to the doctor, I don't want to go too fast, but I mean, when I was talking to the doctor, I was talking to him at the time. I was there to see him because he was introducing me to another doctor because I was sitting there with lung cancer. While he told me that I wasn't supposed to be here. After I was given 3 months to live, then I ended up, obviously, which we'll talk about.
This is, it's just like a miracle just sitting in front of me right now.
Yeah,
this is something. Yes. Okay. Can you describe what it felt like to walk away from a traditional treatment and trust in all natural healing approaches?
I really didn't have a choice because, after they told me I only had 3 months to live, and the only thing that they could do was continue to offer me like chemo and things of that nature, I told them I don't want it. And me and my wife made a decision that we were going to take the natural approach because my wife said something to me that was so powerful. And, on that note, I just want to, really, really, really honor the sisters. You know what I mean? Because one thing that I have found out through this experience is that you guys are definitely nurturers, and you guys should really, really be honored. My wife said to me this that was so powerful. She said that, honey, at this point, the only thing that they're going to do is experiment on you. And if they're saying that you're not going to live, then we need to experiment ourselves. So, I mean, I would be up all night long. I would get no sleep. I would be up trying to find different things that I could put in my body that could build my cells, because one of the things that I realized is that I needed to build my cells. I needed to feed my cells what they needed so that they could fight back. And so I would get all of these ideas and these different foods and all of that, and I would give it to my wife, and she'd take it in the kitchen and turn it into something and come back and feed it to me. So we did that for
teamwork, baby.
Yeah.
Teamwork make the dream work. Shout out to the wife. Shout out to the wife. Shout out to you.
Della Reese, baby.
Della Reese. Oh my gosh.
And so we kept doing that, and then the cancer began to reverse. It began to shrink as I had.
So how long were you guys whipping things up in the kitchen, and she was feeding it to you? How long did it take for the cancer to start reversing?
Probably about 2 or 3 months, because they kept trying to get me to go into hospice. They told me I wasn't gonna make it. The doctor walked into the room after I got back from the Mayo Clinic and found out that the cancer had came back. The doctor walked into the room and told me and my wife, my mother and father was sitting in the room, and they said to me that I needed to, what was my plans for the next 3 to 4 months, is what the doctor said to me. And I was like, well, what you mean? And I told the doctor, I said, because I'm a straight shooter. When you come from, when you come from the streets and you come from where I come from.
But I do say that, like,
you know what I mean? Like,
listen.
Just give it to me. You know what I mean? Just tell me what's up. He said, well, I have to tell you that you need to get your affairs in order. He said, legally, I need to let you know that you have maybe 6 months to 3 to 6 months to live. He said, but I don't think you'll make it past 4 months. And he said, you need to get your affairs in order, and I think you should go into hospice. And I said, no, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing it. I'm not going into hospice. So we disagreed with that, and we kept fighting. And about 2 or 3 months into our fight, the cancer started shrinking. And then we really went hard. But in doing that,
So wait. So 2 to 3 months, your wife is feeding you what she's whipping up in the kitchen.
Yeah.
You go in for labs, right?
Yeah.
Go in for that, and they came back to you and said,
every time the scan was coming back, the cancer was getting smaller.
And what did they say?
He couldn't understand why I was doing that, but he still wanted me to go into hospice until they just didn't see it anymore.
So he couldn't understand, but he still wants you to go into hospice.
Today, the doctor is one of our best friends. If you go on my website, he put a statement on there and said that they have no medical explanation for what happened with me.
What's your website? Tom, put that in the chat.
Our website is Journey, the number 2, abetterhealth.com. Journey, the number 2, abetterhealth.com.
Y'all make sure y'all go to that website and check that interview out.
Yeah, and so he put it on there. If you look in the comments, he just made a statement, because one of the things about the doctors is, they real. He said that he just can't understand what happened. He loves us. He's a good friend of mine today.
I bet.
And then,
I had to sit up for this one. I was sitting back. I had to sit up for this one. Like, what?
One of the things, though, is one of our disclaimers at Journey to a Better Health is we don't come against the doctor. As a matter of fact, we want to partner with the doctor, because, the doctor has a purpose.
For sure.
There's no way for you to get your diagnosis without the doctor.
For sure.
You got what I'm saying? So oftentimes when people are on the mission that we are on to talk to people about natural health and taking your life into your own hands and making a difference, a lot of the natural health movement, they come against doctors. Well, you need the doctor.
You
God
definitely do.
made the doctor too, right?
For sure.
And so, but we do need to understand that all doctors have a title, and their title is licensed practitioners, which means that they're practicing. They don't have the answer, but what they do know how to do is they do know how to diagnose what's happening in your cells. And so one of the things we tell people all the time is, not to be jumping the gun,
No.
but one of the things that we tell people all the time is when you go to the doctor and you got something going on with yourself, what is the first thing that they do? They take your blood. Because the only way that they can tell you what's happening to you, with you, is by reading your blood, right? So that's an indication that whatever's going on with you has to do with your cells, right? And just to be honest, we are nothing but a cell, because even on your way coming out of your father, your whole transition into this place, you're nothing but a cell that made it to a place. You know what I mean? So
absolutely.
Everything that you're made of is a cell, right? So it would only make sense for us to begin to start to understand
The cells.
what we need to do to feed our cells. And so that's what Journey to a Better Health is about. We focus on cell rejuvenation. And my life, my situation is a living testimony. It's a living, nobody can deny what I have. It's on record. I was given 3 months to live. It's on record that the cancer began to reverse itself. And I just January I went for my scan. I don't know if you want me to wait to go here.
Yes.
Yes,
you was I was letting you cook. Okay.
God is good, man.
He is. Like,
And we have
I
to
literally
acknowledge
can
that.
just, we do, and I can just
Yeah.
sit here and just listen to everything, because everything is just so, what you saying is just so,
Yeah.
I'm gonna say magic, because you can't explain magic, right?
You can't explain
Can't
magic.
explain magic.
Yeah.
Even the magicians, you just see them do it. You can't explain it, but
Yeah.
you see it, but you know it's not real, but you are real.
Yeah.
That makes sense. You made a connection to that.
It's amazing.
It's very amazing. There's no
yeah.
words for it. It's just like, I'm just feeling the energy right now. So, oh my God.
Yeah.
What were some of the biggest obstacles, physically, emotionally, and mentally, you had to overcome during this transition?
What's so interesting? One of the things I really, I'm a little older than my wife, and I've been married before. This is my second marriage, and my wife, Dana Reese, is probably about 13 years younger than me.
Okay.
But she's so wise. She's so wise. She's so respectful, and she always says this to me. She'd be like, the reason why people go through so much stuff that they go through is because of expectations. And I think that the biggest part of my journey has been the pain that I have endured because of the expectations that I had of those that should have been there, that wasn't there. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
So I'm talking about, I have fought some major battles. Like it's mind blowing for a doctor to walk into a room and tell you that you got 3 months to live. And the people that's supposed to care about that, they have no grace for you. You know what I mean? But you expect that. And so my biggest battle through all of what I've been through, emotionally, spiritually, has been the pain that I endured from the people that I expected to be there, that wasn't there. Even more than me going through my sickness.
And I can understand that.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can understand it because I also have an autoimmune disease as well, and we just look at things a little different. But I can understand that. And that's, I think, across the board, right? Because when we expect someone that tells us that they love us, and they hold a title to us, they have a duty for that title, so the expectations come. And when somebody let us down, whether it's an illness or not, when somebody is not there for us, like how we expect for them to be us, that pain is very undescribable. Like, it does hurt.
It's painful.
It's very painful.
I had to start, you know, people, I've had one person that's very, very close to me, or I thought was close to me, say to me, you know, this still your family. And I had to start doing some homework. And the definition of family is one that has a sincere, passionate desire for another one's well-being. Then I looked up the definition of relative. The relative is one that is blood related, but the rest of the definition said, but it does not make them family. That's why they call it the church family. Those people are, the people that's family is one that have a sincere, passionate desire for another one's well-being. Now listen, when I realized that some people wasn't family and they were just relative, then it gave me an opportunity to change my expectations. Although I'm a love person and it took some time, because when you be programmed to expect something for so long, it's hard to transition from that, right? But once you realize that, hey, I've had one of my bloodline siblings tell me just recently, when I just went through what I went through, told me, do you expect for everybody else to put their life on hold for you?
Ooh.
And I was in my deathbed battling lung cancer.
And you know, the me today, the me today understands that has nothing to do with you. That has everything to do how he feel about himself. So nasty. Because a healed human being would have never said that ever. Yeah. But the old me.
Yeah. Well, it takes some time, and that's my whole point.
It does take time.
And, you know, I would be really, really timid in this conversation, but you know, because of what I just experienced and how so-called family treated me, you know, there's no reason for me to hold back on that subject matter anymore, because, you know, I just want people to understand that when you're fighting the type of fight that we're fighting, when you're fighting for your health and you're fighting for, you have to pay attention to your support system.
You do.
See, because you'll be so hurt by those that's not there until you won't even but take full pay full attention to who is there. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm ready to go into it, but I know you probably want to ask a question. But I'm just, you know, it's just like I'm in a different place now than I was. You know, what don't kill you make you stronger, right?
I promise you, and how you said, I'm a straight shooter too.
Yeah.
And because I don't know if it's because I have an autoimmune disease or because of what I went through or whatever. It makes me, everything I do is intentional.
Yeah, it makes you different.
Everything I do is intentional, and what I say I mean, and what I mean is what I say. Everybody that I put around me is for a reason, it's for a purpose, and it's an assignment. It's an assignment without feeling like it is homework. It has to come natural. And anybody that I come in contact with, if they are around me or my everyday life, whether it's kids, family, work, man, whoever, you're going to know what I'm expecting of you. You are going to know this before, so an agreement can come upon, because I really have everything I do is intentional. It's
important, especially for those of you, for all of us, because, you know, there's a correlation between any person that's dealing with a sickness, whether it's cancer, whether it's lupus. You know, there's some very important things that matter to us. When you have an immune deficiency, you know, one of the things that I want to say this to people, you know, those names, cancer, lupus, those are names that was given, and when you get that stuff locked in your head, it brings fear. But I don't care what kind of sickness you have, the bottom line is it's an immune deficiency.
Yes.
And so the goal is to figure out what we need to do to build the immune system, right?
For sure.
But if you start focusing on cancer, and you start focusing, I'm sorry, I'm getting loud, but if you start focusing on, if you start focusing on cancer, and you start focusing on lupus, and you start focusing on all these things, which nobody understands those names, by the way. You understand what I'm saying?
Listen.
But the bottom line is cancer is an immune deficiency. So what immune deficiency is that? And what do I need to do to feed my cells in order for my body to fight back?
That's right.
And that's the thing. And one of the things that people that have immune deficiency have to do is stay away from stress. Because stress will kill you.
It will. And people, I've heard, and I have some people say it to me, like, you stressing your own stuff out. And I feel that is so selfish.
Well, you're probably a giver and a lover.
Yes, because I'm naturally who I am to you.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And you're bringing disappointment to me.
Yeah.
How am I stressing my own self out?
Well, when you're a giver and you're a loving person and you're a giver, people come for you for your resources. And people drain you, but they don't feel you.
And even then, like, even if you're not a giver, what if you're just a light and a ball of energy?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You're making people feel a way that they ain't never felt before. I always get that.
Yeah.
So you're around me to get full, but then you're taking from me.
That's my life story.
And it's like, you can't be mad at me because now I'm understanding what you're doing and I have to question you or bring something to you that's uncomfortable for you. Now you feeling away because I feel away, rather than I'm giving you the opportunity to walk away or to see how we're going to give and take from each other.
That right there.
You know what I'm saying?
What you just said.
Give and take from each other. Because no matter what, people always say don't have expectations. But for me, you have to have expectations, because at the end of the day, for me, my circle is not going to be around me if I can't pull from them. And I will hope that they don't have me around them if they cannot pull from me. We all have to feed each other in some type of way to keep each other afloat when it's need be. That if you don't utilize me, that is on you. You understand what I'm saying? But we all have to be able to feed each other.
They got a saying. That's a saying that they have, and the saying is that you have to build your own tribe.
You do have to build your own tribe, and you go through a lot of tribes when people are not authentically being themselves.
Yeah,
Ooh, that's a whole nother topic.
It is. But it is another topic, but it's very relevant.
It is
to dealing with your immunity, because you have to have a healthy environment. You have to have healthy relationships around you, because like I said, this last situation that I just dealt with, and we'll talk about it, I'm sure, in a moment. My biggest hurdle was the people that I thought would have been there for me that wasn't there. In the midst of my storm, come on, what's your next question? Because I'm about to.
I'm about to jump on these people for you. Oh my God. Okay, so we move into the power of mindset.
Yeah.
You speak a lot about mindset.
Absolutely.
And nutrition working hand in hand.
Yeah.
How did shifting your mindset impact your physical healing journey?
Well, I'm really, really big on personal self-development. Sometimes you can be distracted in that, but I am a believer. I'm not a religious individual, but I am very, very spiritual. And most religious people don't understand me, because most people haven't faced death the way I have. So I've had people say to me, when I talk about my journey and I talk about the natural recovery side of things, I've had people say, but don't forget to mention Jesus. Don't leave God out when you're talking. And I'm just looking at them like, you can't look at me and tell that I know God, that God is in my life, all that I've been through,
right?
That my walk is with the Lord. You can't look at me and tell. You got to hear Jesus come out my mouth every 3 minutes for you to know that I got God, and that lets me know where people is. But with my process and my mental, I know one thing for a fact. I know that faith without works is dead.
Oh, say it again.
You know what I'm saying? I know that faith without works is dead, and what that means is you could talk about what you believe in all the time, but when someone tells you that you got a short time to live, you have to walk in by faith, knowing that one of the things that I accepted, when they told me I had 3 months to live, I went and laid down, and I heard some say, keep living. That's where this comes from. Keep living. And I got up and I haven't laid down since. And but I heard God's Spirit tell me that don't worry about what you cannot see. We can't worry about the cancer. We can't worry about lupus. We can't worry about that. Our job is to focus on that, what we can do, which is to put the right stuff in our body. So that's been my focus. And so my whole mindset is always, I'm going to keep living even when they told me that I'm going to die. That's been I never received death in my mind the whole time, even today. Right now, I'm still recovering. Right now, and we still ain't talked about it.
But
right now,
you give a little bit of
right
it.
now, I can't feel anything on the right side of my body.
And you walked in here like just fine.
If a person was to look at me, you wouldn't even know that I've survived cancer 4 times. Why? First of all, I focus a whole lot on your thinking. You have to focus on your mind. You have to focus on your mental. You cannot receive. I don't care if you're dealing with lupus, if you're dealing with cancer, if you're dealing with diabetes. You cannot accept defeat. If you walk into a doctor's office and they tell you you got cancer and you're gonna die, if you receive that in your mind, your body's gonna line up with that.
It is.
You know what I mean?
Oh, I felt everything you were saying as far as when it comes to spiritual and religious people. That's why I always say I'm spiritual. I'm spiritual. I'm not religious.
Yeah.
Y'all, excuse me. I changed my Invisalign today, and it just got me slurring. Like,
It's all good. It's all good. Yeah.
But I say that. Thank you.
Yeah.
But I say that because at that point too, my faith. That's all I had to lean on. That's all I had to lean on, and from that moment on, my faith has been so unexplainable. Like, I hear him different. I see things different. Like, people that go to church, I always say, people that go to church every single day that haven't missed a Sunday, they will never be able to experience God the way I experienced them.
Yeah, because they ain't been through what you've been through.
They ain't been through what I've been through.
But they'll judge you.
They will.
And they'll judge you as if though they know God. If you ain't show up at, listen, I have a very, very loving cousin. I'm talking about, I have no shame in mentioning who he is Marlon Locke over at Unity Gospel. He's been so supportive. I'm talking about so supportive to the point to where he has stepped outside of the church to be there for me as my cousin, as my brother. You know, but it's been times where I went to the church and felt no love from anybody there.
Cause church is not,
I can't blame him for that though.
Right.
You got what I'm saying?
Exactly.
But I know that God will connect you like we connected. God will connect you with who you need for whatever level you're getting ready to go to.
And oh my God, like I wasn't gonna do this right now, but I'm just doing a little tap in. You are so amazing, cause like at that moment when I met you, I was just getting back, I think, from New Orleans.
Okay.
And things was coming. It was coming. Like, I got on a plane. I got some great news from Nick, Wisconsin Voices. Shout out to Wisconsin Voices. I'm partnership with them. They was highlighting me.
Yeah.
Boom. Because it was all the things that I just been praying about. And I'm like, I'm doing all of this stuff. And I'm like, I don't see no movement. But I know not to quit, right? But you know, you have those moments. So, my 40th birthday. Boom. Got that. Yeah, I'm 40.
I'm sorry, you look good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So then I got that. And then my producer, my manager, Tone, called me. I still can't mention it, but it's an interview that I'm going to have with someone that I've been wanting to have with since I started this podcasting thing. Okay? And then the end of my trip, I got a text message from one of my warriors that I put on social media saying that the things that I gave her allowed her hair to grow back. And I'm just like, ooh, it's just, everything is just hitting me. And then you came home to you, and you told me exactly what I thought. Like, you told me my thoughts that had already have happened.
Yeah.
And you say a lot of the things that other people that I run into, like, they be like, you just know, you just need confirmation. And I don't know why I always need confirmation, but I always know. And it's maybe because it's not in front of me yet. You know, it's not time for me to see it, or it's not time for me to hear it.
Yeah.
But I know.
Yeah.
And it's like, I need confirmation. So you gave me confirmation. And I'm like, this is crazy. Like, this is supposed to be, it's meant to be, and it's just, is going up. So I always have those moments right before the shift comes.
Yeah.
that everything start aligning.
That's awesome. You know, one of the things that happened to me during during all of this, um, I don't know what happened to me, but the Lord gave me the ability to read really well.
And you read
You know,
my thoughts that
Yeah.
had already happened.
yeah, I don't want to put no titles on that. You know what I mean? People like to put titles on that stuff, but it's just a gift that the Lord has given me. I'm grateful for the gift, and I just want to use it for the good. But I want to take the gift that God has given me, and I want to speak life into people. I want to give people hope. That's why, with my journey, I don't just share the good. I share the bad. You know, if you go on my page, you'll see me walking in the hospital recovering. You know, speaking life, because I had to speak life to myself. People thought I was speaking to them. I was speaking to me out loud in the atmosphere. You know what I mean? And I had someone say, "You need to stop doing that. That's between you and God."
Ooh.
Yeah, that's between you and God, what's going on with you. I told that person, "Stop it." I said, "You're not a part of my journey. You don't even call me to check on me. You don't know anything about my journey. I'm doing what God told me to do." You can't go through stuff. You can't go through what I've been through and not share it.
You it's
You know,
hard not to, right?
Unfortunately, I'm in an environment where, I mean, everybody in our community should be behind my mission. You know, I got
You know what?
strangers all over the world following me right now, but right here in our own hometown, you know, the word of God says that a prophet is without honor within his own hometown. And here I am, right here, have defeated cancer 4 times right amongst my own people, and you know, I was, and that was another thing that was hurtful to me.
I had to sit up with this one. Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Let me
Yeah.
talk to y'all for a second.
Yeah, that was another thing that was hurtful.
I don't know what it is with Milwaukee, Wisconsin. You guys only hop on ship once we make it.
Once we blow.
Once we blow up. Once you guys see who you think validates us.
Well, you got to be a clique. If you ain't in the clique, you ain't getting no action. Here.
And that is crazy because there's
Yeah.
so many powerful people here in our city. It's so many up and coming people. It's so many people that's doing all of the things. And if we support all of each other, there's no way that none of us could not win. It's just selfishness. It's selfishness. It's jealousy. And you guys really, really, really need to stop it. It's so sad. Like, it is so sad that Milwaukee, Wisconsin act like this. Now, I'm not saying other cities don't act like this towards their people, but I am Milwaukee, Wisconsin right now, and it's so sad. They will see the proof. But they just still don't want to get behind it, and it's crazy to me.
You cannot deny my story. Nobody that knows about my story can deny it.
I cannot deny the energy that I received once I met you. I cannot deny the things you have said to me that was already in my thought process. I cannot deny just that, regardless of everything else. That part right there alone, like, is magical, but it's crazy. But Milwaukee, Wisconsin, we do need to do better. And that is sad. That's very sad, because a lot of people move from here to go to different cities and states and make it. But at the end of the day, you still go through things when you are. It doesn't change.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? It doesn't change, but
Environment
it's
matters.
sad.
Environment matters sometimes. You know, me and my wife, we took everything that we put in my body. We took it and turned it into formulas.
Before I start these questions, just show them this is. I wanted to make y'all wait another 2 weeks, but we're gonna show them.
Do you want to? We could make them wait, because they've been waiting. Everybody know about me.
Yeah, just show them, show them one bag. Pick one bag that you want to talk about.
I'm gonna do this. I'm just gonna share this right now, because we have some new products coming out. But this is one of our biggest sellers. We have a tea called Inflammation and Mucus. You drink it, right?
I do.
And this tea sells all over. This tea has made it to Nigeria, Gambia, Canada, all over the country. This is nothing new under the sun. Even the recipes that's inside of this tea, anybody can go and get. But this tea was made out of love and was made out of fighting for my life.
This is what helped you.
You got what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And we took this and turned it into formulas and made it possible for other people to get it. And some people won't even drink the tea because they don't like me. because they don't see me as somebody that they would. I ain't a part of the circle. I'm not a part of the. You know what I mean? I don't do
Sit up for
clicks.
this.
I don't do clicks. I'm not a click person. I'm not. You're not gonna get me to join the click and be a part of the click. I'm not. That's not. I'm not gonna do that just to be a part of your community.
And you know what's so sad? A lot of people hide who they are and put somebody else up front because of that very same reason that you just said. And you should not have to do that.
Yeah.
You should not have to do that.
Yeah. I mean, it's
But where
people,
can they purchase? Because I'm getting another bag today, you guys. So
all
where
of
can
this,
they purchase
all
this
of this,
at?
all of this stuff is right on our website. I believe that they put it up right in the readings journey. The number 2 abetterhealth.com. You can go there to our store. We have a store there. We've put together a store right where you can go to. We have all kind of products there. As a matter of fact, can I talk about the lung thing or
Go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Every year when you have these type of scenarios like what we have going on, you have to go back and get checked up on. You have to do scans. You have to, so they can see what's going on with you. And so I went to get my scan back in January, end of January, and they saw something in my lung. And so I told my wife, I said, they said they saw something in my lung, babe, and I felt it. I felt something that was weird. I was having some problems breathing. And they did a biopsy, and when the biopsy came back, they told me that I had lung cancer. And so somebody threw a shot at me, man, you doing all this nutrition and stuff, man, how you keep getting sick? Oh, that's the type of stuff people have said to me. And, I said, man, well, I don't know. But we'll come to find out, the lung cancer, all of the cancers that I had 4 different kind of cancers. All of my cancers were different. This one was a rare lung cancer, and it was called an adenocarcinoma. And the cancer formed from the earlier years of radiation treatment that I had that caused scar tissue in my lungs. The scar tissue created its own, the cells, DNA, which created this cancer. Well, the cancer was inside of the scar tissue in my lung, and no doctor in Wisconsin felt comfortable doing a surgery to get it out. Had to go back up to the Mayo Clinic, and the Mayo Clinic again said they believed that they could get it out of there, and so they said they could take a percentage of my lung. They ended up taking my whole top right lobe, 30% of my lung. I suffered for months because of the scar tissue. My lung wouldn't stick back to the wall. I had big tubes, which you can go on my Facebook page, and I shared it on social media, and I'm sure you saw a lot of that stuff, where I had tubes all inside of my lungs. I was living like this, still up walking, talking about surviving, talking about in the midst of the storm, moving around, doing what I needed to do, because I was focusing on my mental. I had to do whatever I had to do to program my mind to survive. And this is what you got to do no matter what you got going on. You have to find a way to program your mind for survival. Not I'm sick, not this is getting me down. You have to get up and you have to keep on going no matter what it is. And right now, I can't feel anything on the right side of my body because I had those big old tubes. I had tubes this big in my lungs. And I had to drain fluid out of my lungs because my lungs, the fluid was suffocating me. And so me and my wife had to sit in there and drain fluid. And listen, and once again, the people that's supposed to be the closest to me, because they don't like me as a person, they don't like my personality. They didn't call me. As a matter of fact, the people that's supposed to be the closest to me, they sent me texts and emojis the whole time I was fighting for my life. Never called to check on my family or nothing, my wife and kids. It was just me, my wife, and my 2 small kids going through that. And they was telling people, "Oh, he's the problem." And the whole time you didn't have no grace for me at all. And what I'm trying to tell you is, the reason that I'm saying this is because I had all of this stuff going on, fighting for my life, But the biggest pain that I had was my expectations of the people. Now, my expectations wasn't wrong though. It's
Yeah.
just that it just wasn't there like that.
And I 1,000% feel everything that you. That's
I believe it.
heartbreaking.
Oh, it was hard on my recovery.
I'm sure.
It was difficult on my recovery. You know, I had some other stuff going on in the midst of that. It's the stuff. So you have to have an environment, you know. But and at the same time, eating no meats, no dairies, no sugars. At the same time, I'm focused on my program. But I kept going. I got home. I got on my bike and I would ride my bike, and you know what I mean. And I just would just keep on fighting. And that's what we had to do. We had to keep living.
You do. When it get like I always say, in order to enjoy the glitter and glam, there is some gloom that you definitely have to go through because when you get it, you are supposed to sustain it and bring it up with abundance. You know what I mean? And you're supposed to not lose it. So you can keep striving, keep striving and remembering what you had to go through in order to get it. But even when you got the glitter and glam, it's still going to be issues. It's still going to be problems. Like, you don't just get the glitter and glam and everything is just golden. It doesn't work that way. Because the more money you have, the more successful life you have, there will be problems. That's just how life is.
Yeah.
But you will be able to, control it in more of a sense. You'll be able to not go through the stressors that you went through on your way up there because you already learned how to deal with them.
Yeah, that's powerful.
Okay. What role did faith or spirituality play in your recovery process?
Oh, it's everything. I mean, sometimes people ask me, they say, they ask me, am I a Christian? And, I was in church a long time, and one of the issues that I have is those that call themselves Christians, right? Is the behavior, right? So when I first gave myself to the Lord, the first thing that God gave me was Galatians chapter 5. And in Galatians chapter 5, it talks about those things that will not inherit the kingdom. But then it goes to the fruit of the Spirit. It talks about love and joy and peace and long suffering. And so when people ask me what I believe in, I tell them I believe in the fruit. Love, joy, peace. It says, against such there is no law. So I realized and I found out that the gateway to the kingdom is the fruit of the Spirit. So I go after those things. I go after those things. And so I know that one of the things that I had to accept the fact is that God was in control.
Always.
You got what I'm saying? And I think that when you're going through stuff like what we've been through, I think that once you accept, I believe that that's what saved me, is my submission to God, acknowledging that he was in control of what I could not see. We can't see lupus. We can see the results of lupus.
For sure.
Got what I'm saying?
For sure.
We can't see cancer. We can see the results of cancer.
For sure.
But we can't see it. But I knew that there was something on the inside of me that was growing that had the potential to destroy me, and that didn't have anything to do with me. My only focus was I believe God, and I believe that I believe that if the enemy created something in the earth that can destroy you, then surely God got something in the earth that can heal you.
There you go. That's it. That's all.
Yeah.
How can listeners start small if they want to move towards a more natural or intentional way of eating?
Well, there's some things that we need to stay away from, when it comes to, especially when you're fighting. We need to stay away. Sugars is dangerous.
It is.
Sugars is dangerous. I just want to read something real quick to give a little bit of insight, just so we can have a little insight on what we need to be doing. I got a lot of this stuff in my head, but I want to be very, very precise about it. So the things that we really, really need to stay from, you need to stay away from the sugars, and you need to stay away from fructose,
the
corn syrup. You need to stay away from those different things. But we have specific diets that we need to focus on when we're fighting. But the first thing is you got to make up your mind that you want to survive.
You do.
You know,
Acceptance.
you see some
You gotta
people.
accept what is going on. And that's a class that I teach. You guys can go on my website, lupusface.com, and looking for those classes. But those one of the classes that I teach, because once you accept what you have, you can start educating yourself on what it is that you need to do for yourself. Because every situation is different.
Yeah, you know, they drop processed foods in our community. We got to stay away from the processed foods. You know, we got to stay away. Unfortunately, people don't really believe this, but you know, dairy causes inflammation and mucus in the body.
It does.
You know, you're drinking milk from a cow that, you know, we shouldn't be drinking cow milk. We need, if you understood the history, then you understand where it comes from. Fried foods, all of the stuff that we love is destroying us. You got what I'm saying?
You know, it's so funny. It's not funny, but you know, I do things in moderation, right? Because I healed from lupus, and I know how I feel when I have things and when I don't have things. And I'm not just gonna sit up here and say I never do none of this stuff. No, what I did was I learned my body. I know my blood type. So my blood type tell me what I can and cannot have. You have to know your blood type. Just because they say that we're supposed to be eating fruits and vegetables, depending on your blood type, you cannot have that.
That's right.
You know, I learned my triggers. I learned what triggers my flares. And once your body speaks to you, it really actually does. So when you learn, once you accept what you have and you start educating yourself and you start being in tune with your body is going to tell you, you need water. You ain't had enough water today. You need some rest. You need to do this. And so living well with lupus is me still being Savannah. You know what I mean? Like, I still eat fried foods, but I know when not to. Exactly.
But you cleanse your
I
body.
detox a lot. You know,
powerful.
more than not. So I know what to do if I'm having a long night. I know what to do if I want to go party. I get prepared to go party, and I have to do something when I come home. You know what I mean? So you guys don't see all of that, but I prepare myself for my trips. I prepare myself to be out in the sun. I'm preparing myself all the time, and what I may look like getting ready to your eyes is really not what you think that I am doing. I'm preparing myself so I can be healthy to do what it is that I need to do to go have fun with my friends.
That's powerful. I mean, once you go through stuff like this and you start to just open up to the fact that you need to feed your cells what they need, and you need to like you said, everything in moderation, what you're doing. And once you start, your body will speak to you. Once you know your body's going to begin to tell you what's happening. Your body's telling you all the time, whether you even know it or not, what's going on.
And listen,
it's always speaking to you.
You know, when you moving too fast and you're not still, you don't hear God. So when you doing all of these things, you ain't listening to your body.
Yeah, I tell people all the time.
Autopilot.
I teach about the cells in the body. That's one of my big things that I talk about is the cells. Because there's about 6 or 7 main cells that's always working in your body. That's your top cells. But I talk about these all the time, and I say that you have more activity going on the inside of you 24/7 than you have going on the outside of you. A person should be focused on what's happening internally more than they focused on what's happening external.
Yes, but people don't. What you don't know is what you don't know.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So how can they?
We got to educate.
That's right. We got to educate.
That's what this is all about.
Sleep hygiene. People ain't never heard of what sleep hygiene is.
You
know what I mean? All of that plays a part into everything that is what we do. People with autoimmune diseases, we have normal stressors and we have added stressors. So like us getting up every day is a stress.
Come on now.
That's stress. People don't understand that, but that's stress on people that have autoimmune disease. Just getting up out the bed every day. Getting up, have to have a routine. You know, brushing our teeth, getting in the shower, all that is stress. Because our body is not ready to move right now, but we know that we have to move. We know we got shit to do.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we are making ourselves do it, even though it may look easy to the naked eye. And then the additional stress.
I'm gonna tell you, nobody have a good man. If I really begin to tell y'all all that I've been going through in the midst of all of this, you know, people being lost, you know, fighting for my kids' lives in the midst of all of this, fighting for my kids' minds and dealing with all of this, I couldn't even begin to tell you. I can't even tell you how I'm making it, but I can tell you that I refuse to quit.
And we definitely gonna get into that. So make sure you guys tune in next week Wednesday, because he coming back. His story's so big, I had to have him on for the whole month.
Yeah.
So I say the same thing. It's God.
Ain't no but God.
It ain't nothing but God. Because sometimes, like my normal friends with no autoimmune disease or nothing, they just be like, I don't know how you do it. I got to take a nap. I got to do this. And I be like, you know what? And sometimes I ask myself, like, dang, I do be doing a lot. I go to 4 events, go to work, do this, do that, still have time. And it's just like, that ain't nothing but God.
Yeah, you made up your mind that you're going to keep going.
Yeah, because why not?
Yeah. What else you going to do? Quit? That's what I'm saying. I mean, it's not an option.
We're going to move on to living hope and advocacy. You often refer to yourself as living hope. What does that phrase mean to you today?
Well, I mean, what we mean by that is my testimony, what I've experienced. You know, a lot of times people talk, you know, there's a whole lot of people that talk about health and nutrition and talk about these things. And a lot of those people haven't even had the experience that someone like myself has had. And what I mean by hope is, when you've been told that you have 3 months to live, when you've had 30% of your lungs taken and your spleens, I'm sitting up here right now with 65% of my immune system left. Look at me.
You look good.
You got what I'm saying? I'm talking about if the average person was to see me, if the average person was to see me, they wouldn't even know I've been through what I've been through. That's from the nutrients, and so that's what I mean. I mean, I'm hope. I'm living hope. You know
you
what I'm
living
saying?
proof.
I'm living proof and hope.
Yes,
You know
for
what I'm saying?
sure.
For a person that think that they can't make it, I tell people all the time, if you're on drugs, look at my life. If I can come through this, you can come through that.
You just gotta want to do it,
you have
and
to
it's
make
not
up your mind.
easy.
It's not, but it is a decision.
It's a decision.
You know what I'm saying? You have to make a decision.